would be a page that we set up. That's why and I haven't checked it in a little while to see if maybe they've changed that. But, having, if I'm the one that always has to issue the meeting, it's annoying
Yeah.
because it goes against my LinkedIn and it should be the group, right?
Mm.
And if I get really like this week, right, I got like really, really busy. I had all these intentions of
Right.
posting something earlier and it just didn't happen, right? And if you don't, then it's hard to advertise it, right? And then back to what Emily's saying, right? You have to advertise it. So that's what I am finding that frustrating, where you can't share the responsibility, or you can't have like a central place that you issue the meetings from.
Yeah, and they're not real
Yeah, I mean
clear.
that's just.
Go ahead, Emily.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think those are just feature limitations right now that they will
Right.
expand on, but like, yeah, they're epically frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if sharing, like we pick one, but we kind of use the same look and we all invite the same speakers, but maybe different people can, issue the meeting every week, so that then everybody gets more, we can share the algorithm, I guess that would be one. We can each get a shot at bringing the algorithm. It'll expand through different, through everyone's individual, um, I guess, networks. So that could possibly help. And then I think we also need to spend a little bit more time trying to figure out a calendar of what we're going to talk about. Like, yes, we're going, we can spend 20 minutes talking about whatever happened last week. Um, but then have topics and maybe try to plan them out a little bit more, so that I feel like I'm always in a constant scramble.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I think something like we don't even have to do it frequently, right? Like just kind of like a monthly planning meeting, or even
Yeah,
just like a document that
yeah,
we regularly dump ideas into, or like um I don't know, even like a yeah, something like that.
Do
So
either do you guys
um
use Notion at all?
we use Notion with Foolproof. So another potential idea, and I haven't run this past anybody yet, but while we're shooting ideas out there,
mhm,
we do at Foolproof, Chris and I, we do have a content marketing manager who is working on kind of capitalizing on these things that we do and just kind of like collecting them into ideas. So it's possible that Foolproof could like quote unquote sponsor it, but like not with money, more like with effort.
no, and that's perfect. I mean, and we can have like, maybe all our companies can be like little sponsors or whatever, right? And we can each try to
Exactly,
give
yeah.
something, right? Like in the form of either,
So
yeah,
yeah, so like my content marketing manager can go and run around LinkedIn and round people up and like maybe keep
that'd
us
be awesome.
organized and do the whole kind of take what ouch, that hurt really bad. Take what Corey records and do kind of like the content marketing thingy and like help get it distributed and managed through like whatever channels we want it to go through.
We have
And
a
help us
Mailchimp
stay
account.
organized and like yeah.
Yeah, we have a Mailchimp account, that we can possibly also use. I mean, that could be our contribution, right? That, it's paid or whatever, but we can run like little advertising campaigns through email or something like that. If we can, we can
Yeah, we
collect.
have MailChimp too, and we're like trying to build out our mailing list. So I don't know, like it may be worth to put, you know, just a tiny bit more effort into this, just so we make sure that we're all getting like the max return individually for our time that we put in.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And I'm thinking that it needs to. So I had, I didn't discuss it with you guys, but I just updated the the topic to be more AI and Web3, just because we were talking so much about Chat GPT, because we were just, scrambling for the topics of the week kind of thing. So then I think also just trying to come back with what should we call this, right? What would be a good name for it? I'm leaning more actually towards just emerging technologies, because there's so much, we can say, AI, Web3, even quantum, right? Like quantum is starting to get into, cybersecurity, that kind of stuff. So we can talk about what we should call it, so that again, it's more marketable and appealing to people, I
I mean,
guess.
I like the name blockchain rehash. I think it's a very clever name, and potentially workable, because like all the topics that we talk about and just like all of our experience is pretty relevant to blockchain, right? Because it's like now it's like is there a fit for blockchain and AI and products like ChatGPT? I don't
Hmm.
know, right? Like I think putting that relevancy and like helping people understand this kind of like unknown technology is helpful. And like blockchain isn't crypto necessarily either.
No, you're right. You're right. Okay, that's good. Corey, how do you feel?
I mean, I just asked ChatGPT and it gave me some good ideas. You want to,
Oh,
I
Good.
literally did. You want to know what it came up with?
yeah. Tell us.
Future forward, tech disruptors. I don't like that really. Innovate or perish. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Innovate, repairish.
I mean, it's dramatic. The
That
next
is yes.
the next big thing, and then tomorrow's tech today. I don't know. None of these are. I asked it like, what are 5 clever names for a podcast about emerging technologies? I think I could probably prompt engineer something better, but
Yeah. Well, come back with some with this. Come back with some options and see what if we find another name or whatever, or we can just stick with blockchain rehash or whatever.
I mean, I like what you're saying about not limiting us to Web3, especially. I mean, I don't see Web3 going anywhere in the short term, but like longer term, if Web3 goes through its own rebranding, I hear a lot of people talking about rebranding NFTs, already because of the negative connotations that have been formed around them and trying to. Anyway, so if that happens, do we also want to have to rebrand? Is that a problem that we don't even need to worry about? I don't, yeah, because I do like blockchain rehash or the weekly rehash. So that would be my only thought about it is what would we want down the line? Do we want to make a better
I mean,
decision now for our future selves, or is it not really a problem and I'm just coming up
the
with
only
things?
reason it's called Web 3 is because it was called Web 2,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't make that shit up for Web 3. Like that existed.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So
could call it
like I
like
think that's
IO rehash, input output rehash.
Well, I
That
mean, I
covers
think wasn't Web3 though? Web3 was a rebrand from crypto, I
it.
think, if I remember the etymology.
I mean, it might be a rebrand from crypto, but like Web 2 existed
Yeah.
agnostically.
No, yeah, you're
Yes.
totally right.
So, and like I think Web 3 is a pretty reasonable name, because like it's not all crypto, it's not all um,
Mm.
NFTs, right? Like they're
Yeah.
they're not like they're different. Kind of like rectangles and squares or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. So, like, even if certain aspects of the blockchain space rebrand themselves, they're still under the umbrella of Web3.
Yeah, and like just kind of like I don't know. I think the NFT rebranding is I don't know. It's almost like contrived. Like, oh no, someone made fun of my kilt. Now it's a skirt, right? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like I know what this is, right? So it's almost like okay, like it's I don't know. Like it seems like it's one of those kind of like market. What was it? Reminds me of like what was it? Clear Pepsi, like where
Yeah.
it's like, no, that's not going to work. It is what it is. Like an NFT is not too long of a word or like too complicated of a concept. And like it's also kind of a specific thing, right? Like if you think about it, like digital collectible, that doesn't exactly roll off the tongue,
Yeah.
right? Like there's
No,
nothing
I'm a
about
fan of
that
the
that's
NFT
easy to
brand.
say.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm with you. Like I fight with people all the time about it's a freaking NFT. Just call it what it is, and there's nothing wrong with an NFT.
Right.
Right?
Well,
NFT is an NFT.
until we get to something like ordinals, which is interesting, right? Because people are like, it's an NFT on Bitcoin, but like it's not an NFT on Bitcoin. It's not an NFT.
Speaking of, that would be
It's an
something great to speak about, whether it's,
Yeah.
this week or next.
Yeah.
yeah.
So this,
I thought that was last week's, but I missed it. Was I wrong? Weren't we talking about ordinals last week?
well, last week we were talking about ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I missed it though. So I was like,
No,
oh, okay.
no worries. Everybody's busy.
Yeah, I mean, I think ordinals are definitely an interesting one to discuss. Also since we have no audience right now, so whatever. I think, and this isn't recorded. So
Oh,
I
I'm
think,
recording.
well, that's
You
taking
don't need to,
notes.
this one doesn't need to be
but I
posted.
but I can edit.
Can we wait? Can does your recording turn into a transcript and then we can feed it through ChatGPT and be like notes?
I mean, I have a couple of different things that I can use to transcribe. They're hit or miss with their accuracy, though.
Well, I mean, we can, whatever is inaccurate, if it's got timestamps, it's pretty easy for us to be like, what?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no, the one that I
yeah.
like is called like Otter. I think it's otter.io or otter.ai. But they have like an editing thing that like you can follow along, so you just listen and watch as it's like kind of doing like a closed captioning, like, oh, that's wrong, and you go back and edit. But I found like the more similar the speakers voices are, the harder the bigger of a challenge it is. On the bright side, I don't think any of us have
I
particularly
feel
similar voices, so that shouldn't be
like,
such a
no,
big
I think we're
problem.
all distinguishable at the least. Come here, Zelda. But I don't know, like, I think we should give all these things just a try, right? And like,
Yeah.
I'll circle back with my content marketing manager and like try to get, his thoughts on that. Etc. If you guys are open to it, and like, Corey, you can, work with him as well to like kind of produce the content, and like where we want it to go, and like just like make it a little, I don't know, just make it a little more
Yeah,
valuable, right? Like,
I agree.
we're talking,
We've
yeah,
been spinning our wheels. We need to. I've been thinking the same thing, that we're kind of spinning our wheels and we need to try something
yeah,
different. So yeah, it sounds
yeah.
good.
And I know for Chris, I don't know about the rest of you, like me, my days are just kind of like, nonstop foolproof, but like Crystal has a full-time job. So like when he takes time away from his full-time job, then it's kind of like, what are you doing with that time? Like, so yeah, it's, something we notice. Yeah. Um, all important to consider. Um,
So how about we have a planning session? Kind
yeah,
of like
I
a
think that's,
replanning session.
I think that's a good idea. And I think, because, and also, ChatGPT, I didn't even realize that was a topic this week because I've just been all over the place. But are you guys familiar with Mike Mongo?
No, I'm not.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay, so Mike Mongo is an astronaut, but also in like very active in NFTs and crypto, and also has been doing a lot of really interesting experiments with ChatGPT. So like, and is, very likely going to become an advisor for Foolproof. So he could be a really interesting person to tap into for this. One, because he comes with clout and is like pretty active and could like get our audience up, and two, has been doing really interesting stuff, which is, we like interesting stuff, um and has a lot of context to talk about this, which is fun. So, maybe we, even, take this time today to plan out kind of like a brain dump of, all kinds of ideas that we could potentially talk about, and then like maybe reshuffle them based on news points of the week, and then kind of circle back and like try to make the most of the week, depending on what the news is. And like, as I'm sure you guys are aware, to some degree at least, as far as crypto goes, the news hits Twitter before it hits anything else. So
Yeah.
we already have a few day advantage on it. So like that cycle doesn't put us that far behind if we're, watching for a week and then we like ultimately pick our deep dive discussion topic.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys think of that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Did we ever set up a Google Drive? I want to. I feel that we did. Did we? Where we were
If
sort of.
I don't remember ever seeing one,
Let me check. I've
but
got
like initially, if you go back to our Twitter chat, we had a lot more interest in there at first than people that actually followed through as well. So there's always that.
Yeah. Okay.
Flakies.
Yeah.
So I don't
All
know,
right.
all of those little pieces, right? Like those all kind of like, okay, here we are again. Um,
Yes.
But yeah, I just want to make sure that like our effort is not evaporating, especially because like we talk about some really interesting stuff that I think, you know, if that content was discoverable, and even if we were like hosting them somewhere with transcription, then you know it becomes surfaceable through SEO, and then people are like, oh, I should listen to this thing. That's interesting, right? Like, you know, kind of all these components. Come here, Hansel. Kind of all these components that we're missing out on right now, and like could be capitalizing on. Um,
Agreed.
and like, yeah, and like